Hey guys, as pro pond installers, you can imagine we get phone calls all the time from people who are interested in converting a traditional swimming pool into an ecosystem koi pond or another type of water feature. It sounds easy if you say it fast, but there are some things that you absolutely have to get right during this process in order to ensure the success of your project. In this video, I'm going to share with you two viable options, in my opinion, for getting your water feature conversion done properly. And at the end, I'm going to tell you some things that you absolutely must get right in order to avoid project failure. By the way, kids, I'm John Adams with Modern Design Aquascaping, and our team travels the globe building ponds, fountains, and waterfalls out of natural stone and wood. It is my personal goal to help you successfully bring the joy and healing effects of water into your everyday life. So like, comment, and subscribe. Help us help you. You know the routine, guys. Stay tuned for the video. So like I said, we have a couple of conversion options. You guys are going to be watching some video of our team doing the more complex version of this story, but I want to talk about the easy option first while you watch. Working inside the shell is the simplest way. Guys, this simply means that you're going to actually build a pond inside of the footprint of the existing pool. So all the work that you do technically will be filling in around whatever you build. Questions you're going to want to answer during this project: think about the pool deck. Are you going to remove it? Are you going to leave it and veneer over it with stone or pavers? Understanding these options will let you know where your final grade will be. This will help you determine the water level in your new pond construction. If the existing pool is gunite or concrete, you need to break out the bottom and then do whatever your soil type and drainage situations require to ensure that you don't end up with water getting trapped under your new pond construction. You're going to want to ensure that you install and compact some clean soil into the bottom of the pool once that's been finished to facilitate a proper build as you proceed with your normal construction methods. Once you do this, you're going to work your way up. So the thing you're going to do is you're going to do a ring of stone, and then you're going to backfill soil between the existing pool shell, or the old hole if you will, and the rock work that you're installing, because what you can't do is put two hard surfaces on both sides of the liner. I see people make this mistake all the time. They just throw a liner inside of a concrete pool and start stacking rocks in there. It's horrible. Even if you don't put rocks in the pond and you just throw a liner in the pool, guys, what's going to happen is stones are going to fall in from the top, and those are going to hit against the liner and make a hole with that hard surface behind it. So we always want to make sure that we have soil and some sort of protective underlayment on one side of the liner, and then the rock is on the other side of the liner. And if the rock's sharp, we'll use protective underlayment on the inside of the liner to protect the liner as well from the new stone that we're installing. Very important. All right, guys, so this is the more advanced option of converting your swimming pool into a koi pond. If you're doing a large koi pond, a deep koi pond, recreational swim pond, etc., that exceeds the footprint of your existing swimming pool, obviously you're going to have to remove the pool at least to an extent in order to make room for your new project. So consider you're either taking the entire pool out, or if you know final depth and the existing swimming pool goes much below that, you can just shatter the bottom of the existing pool, as long as you properly handle the drainage like we talked about before, so that you can't get water buildup under your pond. On this type of project, you must consider the disposal of all concrete, rebar, and debris. It's going to have to be dealt with, hauled away, etc. This is a large portion of the project. And as you can see in the project that we're doing, you never know how thick the gunite was sprayed in a swimming pool or how crazy the builders went with the rebar, but this project can easily turn into double what your expectations were. On our project, we used a large excavator to remove concrete. We used a smaller excavator with a hammer to break it all up. There was a skid steer used on site to scoop up the piles and move them to the disposal site. You've got, even at the end, a remote controlled compaction unit, which is used to reach 100% compaction level to avoid settling. These are all things that go into the simple transition of swimming pool to ecosystem koi pond. Like I said before, guys, it sounds easy if you say it fast, but let's talk about the things that you have to do and why it's so important that these things are done right. Silver bullet number one, proper drainage. Let me tell you a secret. When you've got a pond and it's completed and it's beautiful and everybody loves it, and then you get a massive rain and all of a sudden there's a big giant black bubble in the bottom of the pond because water's building up underneath your liner and you can't get it out of there, it's humiliating. It's embarrassing for the builder, and the people who receive said project typically are not very happy. I put together a whole video on how we do a drain system underneath the pond in case we have water build up, so I can just put a link to that video, but it's important. And you need to understand that the bigger a project gets, the more elaborate the drainage system underneath that project needs to be. Get your under pond drainage installed. Do it overkill, do it properly, and at the end of the day, if you don't need it, you're one of the lucky ones. My friends, the last thing I want to talk to you about is proper compaction. You cannot overkill the compaction in a swimming pond, in a rec pond, in a koi pond. You're building something that cannot settle. You need to understand your soil types and how thick of lifts that you can do. That's going to be based on soil, it's going to be based on the equipment that you're using. This isn't something that you just wing it. The last thing in the world you want to do is get done with this thing and everything sinks a little or a little more than you wish it did. Moisture content's important, getting the right equipment for each job's important. It goes on and on, guys. I can't talk about it enough. Compaction will destroy your job if you don't do it right. Spend the time. You can't skip this part. That's all I got to talk about, guys. There's a lot more that I could go into about what it takes to convert a swimming pool into an ecosystem koi pond. You're going to see some videos on this pond that you're watching them do the tear out on coming out soon, and it's just an absolutely incredible project. I've seen it finished. It's amazing. You all are going to want to see that and what the difference can be in a person's yard when you take a boring old swimming pool that they only spend a few days a year with and turn it into something that is just a visual delight every day of the year. I know what you're going to say. There's 1,000 more things I should have covered about what it takes to do this conversion. I can't fit them all into one little itty bitty video. This was meant to give you a taste of how much work it actually is to do this simple process of converting a swimming pool into an ecosystem pond. Guys, I really appreciate you spending time with the Adams family. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for hitting the like button and the subscribe button. And any other questions you have, put them down in the comment section. I try to get back with each and every one of you as best I can. Appreciate you once again. Hope you have an amazing day. John G. out.